Philadelphia for years now. Sadly, gun violence continues to plague our city. Just yesterday, a 15-year-old boy was chased down by three people, shot and killed in the Crescentville section, and that was during the day.
Noon. The 17th student who was killed just this school year, and one of our 78th student who was shot.
Yeah.
The numbers are staggering. So we've got to deal with this violence. We've got to deal with the trauma this is creating. So our new Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor, Josh Shapiro, announced last week the budget plan. So we're speaking right now to Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, who joins us right now.
Thank you for being with us.
No, thank you so much for having me this morning. It's wonderful to be with you.
Look at the headlines in our papers here. City on the wrong track, and more bluntly, the Daily News says it's a mess. We do have a mess on our hands here when it comes to gun violence. Like I mentioned, a 15-year-old kid, middle of the day, shot by a high school. And like Karen said, that's 78 children shot since September.
Yeah.
We'll take help from anybody, including the state.
Yeah, well, quite frankly, it's unacceptable. And gun violence was the reason I got involved in public service when I was 16 years old and somebody was shot on my block. And the governor and I fully recognize that government should be a force for good, which is why we put forth a common sense budget that deals with the most pressing issues Pennsylvanians are facing, like gun violence. I'm proud of the fact that the budget we introduced will create 4 new cadet classes in the Pennsylvania State Police. We're going to increase our violence prevention dollars and programming up to $75 million here in the Commonwealth through the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, which I'm proud to lead at the governor's appointment. But we know public safety and policing is only one strategy in terms of getting us out of this problem. We invest in career and technical education to make sure young people have ladders of opportunity to join the workforce and live the American dream here in Pennsylvania. I'm really excited that the proposal that our common sense budget puts forward, and I fully believe it's going to address many of the most pressing issues here in Philadelphia. We talked earlier about police retention and retainment. In our budget, we provide a $2,500 tax credit to police officers to help places like Philadelphia attract and retain police officers.
We're way down as far as number of police officers.
Yes, we need to make sure that our police departments all across the Commonwealth have adequate resources to do their jobs and are appropriately staffed, and that's what we're trying to achieve in this budget.
So, I mean, the problems we have here, tragically, are not just shared by us alone. They're happening all across the state. All of our departments are having problems getting people to work in law enforcement, to work in nursing. So that tax credit you mentioned, that's very interesting. So if you go into one of these fields, thank you for their service, for all the people that help and protect us all the time, they're going to be getting that tax credit?
Yes, they'll be able to get $2,500 up to 3 years once they take on a career, whether it's policing, nursing, or teaching. And these people in these career paths really keep our society running, and we need to make sure we incentivize folks to go into these solid public service jobs to give back to our community, because as we see what's playing out on our streets, we need more resources.
Well, we're happy that the state is talking about that kind of money. I mean, it's a lot of money. But the city of Philadelphia, through nonprofits, we've been throwing money at this problem for years, and it's not getting better.
Yeah, so we need
money's not the answer. I mean, it's part of the answer, but it's not the total.
It's certainly part of the answer. We need to make sure we're investing in evidence-based programs that are proven to work. But we also need to make sure that we're addressing the front-end issues, like good schools, to make sure every child has access to a quality education, making sure young people have access to workforce development programs, whether it's through a career and tech ed school or through an apprenticeship through a labor union, to make sure there's ladders of opportunities for these young people.
This is a daunting task you've taken on. Man.
It is, but I truly believe that government can be a force for good, and gun violence is the cause that called me to public service when I was 16 years old, and it was the cause that I fought for as a state representative, and we're losing too many young people on our streets, and we can't afford to give up on them.
We keep seeing it all the time. So the other thing, also one of our other big headlines, is that we have all these asbestos problems with this aging infrastructure in our schools. So we have now 3 schools where all those kids are, couldn't go to school. So then they're out on the streets. We need our kids to be in a safe place where they're getting, stuff for their mind and protection overall. How do we, greater fund that? 'Cause that's one of the things everyone's arguing over, like, well, we're not going to fund a budget if we don't have money to make our schools safe.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. The governor and I certainly agree with you, which is why we put forward in our budget proposal $1 billion in new spending to address unhealthy environments in our schools. We know many of the schools in Philadelphia and across this Commonwealth have asbestos and lead, and they need to be remediated. And many of the local school districts can't afford to take on those costs alone.
Yeah.
And so we're sending a strong message that the state is going to have their backs, and we're going to work to make sure that our children have access to a quality
So
education,
important.
but also a safe environment to learn.
Maybe the most important aspect of this. Congratulations, by the way,
Thank you so much.
making history. Married?
Yeah, I'm married. I've been married to Pennsylvania's now second lady, Blair Holmes Davis,
Yes.
for 5 years, and she's an incredible life partner, and I couldn't be more blessed to serve in this position and represent all Pennsylvanians and to be a history maker. But hopefully people and young people recognize I'm 33 years old, the youngest lieutenant governor in the country. Hopefully young people who are watching recognize that they can do anything that they set their mind to with a little bit of hard work.
Well, we're rooting for you to succeed in every single way to
For
help
sure.
our entire state, for yourself personally, and for everybody here in our area in the state.
Thank you so much. I look forward to coming back and
Oh,
being with you guys
please.
in the future.
Yeah, which we're just getting to know him, so please come back anytime.
Thank you.
Okay?